Now, I will give credit where credit is due, and Fonseca did put us in a good spot to qualify directly into the round of 16 in the Champions League. And with us winning 5 games in a row in the Champions League, including a dominant performance versus Real Madrid in the Bernabeu, this is a huge deal in my book. And even though we still won, the performance was nothing to be proud of, in my opinion, because we saw once again in this game how wasteful in front of goal we were. And it really makes you think that we really need to capitalize on these chances before we really make a big mistake. And that one Teo Hernandez chance sticks out like a sore thumb because you're asking questions on how is he not bagging this goal. And he had another chance as well too, making one of those overlapping runs, but he did hit it wide. And Teo is such a polarizing figure for Milan fans for reasons like this. And let's not get it twisted. I don't think Teo had an amazing game at all whatsoever. Maybe a 4 out of 10 game at best. And we're hoping that sooner rather than later he can kind of get over this slump of mid performances. And he has the backing of the manager of Conceição, and he has the backing of the fan base as well. So really, it is only up to Teo Hernandez to make a performance worthy of praise. And a performance worthy of praise was Ismail Benacer. I tip my hat to you. This guy was running our midfield for the whole game, and these are the types of performances that we want to see from him. And that goal that we scored started from Isma, and that just encapsulates what we saw from him tonight, winning the ball high up on the pitch and getting away from those 2 Girona players with that touch with the outside of his boot, and then just dishing out a perfect ball to Rafael Leao. Yes, he did have to run onto it, but regardless of the fact is he did put Leao in that position to score. And I've been critical of Isma earlier, like I said, but justifiably, because after some poor performances, right, against Juventus in the Super Cup, against Inter in the Super Cup as well, and then obviously those howler performances in the league as well, this is the game that you can look at and expect what you want from Benacer. And if he can be this type of outlet where he can win the ball high up on the pitch and do well by pressing and keeping up that pressure, then just give me more of that, because we need this type of energizing player in this midfield to be an example for all the other midfielders that are trying to break into this team. So a special shout out to Benacer, and also a special shout out to Tereciano. I thought he came in and offered a little bit of energy, something that we needed to finish off the rest of the game, but big up to him and big up Rafael Leao. This guy loves a Champions League game. This guy just loves Champions League, and he puts on a vintage Rafa performance. I think he did get robbed of at least 1 assist tonight, but the truth of the matter is Rafael Leao is back to a level where he can be a difference maker on a consistent level. And someone better check on Cassano, because he's probably going through it right now with how good Leao is performing right now. And he says that he's motivated and he says he's confident, and it most definitely looks like it based off of the way that these performances are looking. So Rafa, I hope with these next couple big games that are coming up, right, against Parma in the league, to kind of see where we're at with the team, and also next week in Champions League, if we win, we're automatically into the round of 16. Then obviously the game after that is against Inter in the Derby. So I think Leao is picking up a nice patch of form right now to kind of prepare for these big games. But I think another player that was easily a top performer tonight was Mike Maignan. Mike Maignan coming up with loads of big saves to not only keep that clean sheet, but after a couple of howlers that he's conceded in previous matches, this match was a clear reminder that what Mike Maignan is capable at the end of the day. And not only is it nice seeing Mike Maignan stay fit, but having a performance like that with the captain's armband on. So I think that's huge, because we see the weight of what the Milan captain's armband gives to certain players like of Teo and Leao, who had the captain's armband earlier on this season. And Mike Maignan has been the captain since Sergio Conceição has taken the helm. But regardless of the fact is, having a big performance like that with that captain's armband as well is a huge thing to kind of look at for Mike Maignan going forward. So big up Mike Maignan. And I want to tip my hat as well to Pavlovic, because being in the news recently linked with a move away to Fenerbahce, he declined that move and is willing to fight for his spot in this team. And after some poor games from Tomori, Pavlovic stepped up and didn't have the craziest game by all means, but he was solid. And I think that's the most important thing to kind of look at. And it's good to see a player go through moments like Pavlovic, because we saw early on this season how he was that bright spot in the defense. But then after a couple of poor performances, he kind of got exiled from the team and didn't really get a shot under Fonseca. I mean, I don't blame him because he kind of found that partnership with Leao and Gabia. But regardless of the fact is, he had a shot tonight and he took that opportunity. So I hope that we can see Pavlovic a lot more often, maybe in this defensive rotation or maybe in cup games, whatever the case may be. I just hope that Pavlovic kind of keeps up this hard work and hopefully is an important piece to this Milan defense going forward. But with all these great individual performances, I think as a collective, I think we need a greater effort to put these chances away and to kind of create clear-cut chances, because if that Girona goal would have scored by Brian Giel, if his boots were a size down, then we would be talking about a whole different mood and a whole different narrative based off of that one goal. And after another stinker performance by our striker partnership with Morata and Tammy, obviously Morata started this game after a game's rest, but then Tammy came in and did just as bad, and that's not saying much, to be completely honest. Meanwhile, in that Bayern game, a certain someone named Santiago Gimenez scored a brace, and it left all of our mouths watering for a striker like that. And I'm still a little hesitant to bring in a player like him, because I think there are some uncertainties that come with his game. Speaking with my Mexican friends who follow Santi Gimenez pretty closely, he has had some injury problems in the past, kind of had some form problems as well, so which makes me a little hesitant, as well as that 40 million price tag that he has on him. And he is the type of profile that I think we should go for, right? Being a great target man, and we saw with that Bayern goal, kind of created something out of nothing, and obviously he bagged in a great goal. But to be honest, he will not be as worse as Tammy or Morata are right now, and I am certain of that. So why not? I think this management should take that risk, right? 40 mil is a bit steep, but I think we've seen crazier transfers happen, right? We bought Emerson for 20 mil, right? So I think with this, I think it guarantees at least a couple more goals than I think what Morata can offer, because he really isn't offering anything at all going forward. So why not take the risk for Santi Gimenez and bring him in? And as sad as it is to kind of say, I think there were a lot of joy on people's face when they saw Emerson go down within the first 90 seconds of the game with that injury. And Calabria replaced him, and he did pretty good for the most part. But I think that we may have witnessed Emerson's last game in a Milan shirt, because obviously he was linked with that Galatasaray move. But because he is now injured, the reports are saying for around 6 to 8 weeks, it's most likely that this deal is going to fall through. And to be honest, I don't think that Emerson is going to be the starter anymore with Kyle Walker's transfer finally over the line. Maybe we'll see Kyle Walker train with the team this week and hopefully be in this starting 11 versus Parma. But honestly, I think with Emerson out, Calabria has to be that starter. I wouldn't mind seeing Alex Jimenez either. I know he's more of a left back, but we have seen him play right back as well. I would like more to see Kyle Walker in that right back spot personally. But quickly previewing that Parma game before we go, they currently sit in 16th place. We know our luck this season with lower table teams, and this will be a lot different, I think, from the last time we played them, because last time it was the beginning of the season. They were high flying, playing one-touch football, quite literally playing us out of the park. I think it'll be a lot different, because I think with Walker coming in this week, I think with a nice little Champions League win, I think the morale is up right now. And I think if we can just stay compact, stay tight and composed, then I think that we can win this game. And also, we are in the San Siro for this one as well. So I'm going to predict a little win here. I think that we'll learn from the mistakes that we made in the Champions League, being more clinical in front of goal, hopefully. And I think we will take care of business. So I'm going to predict a 3-1 victory for us. I think that'll do it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys get involved in the comment section below. What do you guys think about our chances in qualifying directly into the round of 16 for the Champions League? What do you guys think our chances are of getting Santi Gimenez? And what do you guys think about our chances of getting our season back on track if we beat Parma? So guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao ragazzi.